Would you believe it if I told you that I've only started painting portraits less than a year ago? What helped me significantly is the study of values. So what is values? Values is basically how dark and light something is. It is what gives something shape, form, and depth. So before I dived straight into painting portraits, I was learning values, and it took me like months to train my eyes to see dark, light, instead of seeing the color of something, right? Because even if you get the color wrong, if the value is correct, if the value of the color is correct, it's still gonna look good. So trust me, if you do this practice, you're gonna elevate your paintings. If your paintings are looking flat and they look lifeless, this practice will help you, believe me. It helped me significantly. So I painted this painting right here. And if this is like too much for you, if you are a total beginner and you don't want to start with a full face right away, you can start with something simple like an eye, a nose. I actually used this photo right here, but it's not black and white. What you can do is use the filter on your phone or tablet. You can just filter it to black and white. So if you find a photo that you like and it's colored, you can always filter it. But make sure it has good contrast, because this is what this exercise is all about. You want to make sure it has good light and shadow areas. So the tools you'll be needing, I wrote it down. Titanium white plus ivory black, a palette knife to mix the colors, a small canvas board, white spirit for cleaning your brush. Don't forget to read the safety instructions of the solvent you are using. You will need brushes and a paper palette like the messy one you see at the bottom. This is the canvas board and it's super useful. It doesn't take a lot of space. It's good to practice. You can also paint over old paintings with gesso and just reuse it. So before we dive into today's painting practice, I just want to point out that my canvas is this color because I used an underpaint of burnt sienna. But you can skip this step. Just use your canvas as it is. Okay guys, so this is the sketch I'm working with. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, what is this sketch? It's terrible. You're not going to be able to paint. Like, don't worry. I'm going to show you the power of squinting your eyes and focusing on larger shapes. You'll see, you'll see. Let's do it together. Okay, so I have my grays ready. Ignore these colors. I just, not the white, but these, because I saved them from a previous palette and they're still not dry and I didn't want to waste them. So dip your brush in the solvent and wipe it clean. And then what I like to do is first focus on the darkest parts. So if you squint your eyes, you will see that it's here. These are the darkest areas. So I'm gonna take the darkest color I have, which is the black that I made using ultramarine blue and burnt umber. I'm gonna start this side here very loosely. So just comparing this shape with this one here. So what I'm doing now is dipping the brush in the solvent, and I'm not wiping it. I'm just dipping the brush immediately into the color because I need the color to be a bit washy. Now you're thinking, oh, but there's no dark areas here. Why is she doing that? Well, that's a good question. It's because when you're painting in oil, it's easy to add light on top of dark, but it's hard to add dark on top of light. So I'm gonna make this area lighter. Don't worry about it. Whenever you're painting, keep looking at the reference photo and keep comparing it with what you're doing. So what I'm doing in this step is that I'm just mapping out my subject. I'm focusing on the larger shapes by squinting my eyes. I'm trying to figure out where is the darkest values and just applying the darkest color I have mixed in with the solvent, so the paint dries quicker and it's much thinner than if you use it without solvent. Next, I add a darker color, but not the darkest, because remember, in oil you can add light on top of dark very easily, but it's harder to apply dark on top of light. So this is why my base is very dark, my underpaint is quite dark, because I will be able to just make the areas lighter gradually. So this is the practice, you guys. You just have to keep in mind that all you need to do is squint your eyes and focus on larger shapes instead of focusing on the details. So for me personally, I like to start with the darkest value first and then gradually making the painting lighter. It's just, for me, it's easier that way because I can compare the other values with the darkest one that I have. So let's recap very quickly what I did in this painting. I started the painting with a washy dark color. I mix my paint with solvent, which thins the color and makes the drying process faster. This helps to map out my larger shapes and the silhouette of my subject. Then I started doing my second layer, which was adding thicker amount of paint. Remember to always squint your eyes when you're painting and keep looking back and forth between the painting and your reference. So that's it, you guys. The portrait that I did took me about 2 hours plus, and you saw that I did it without even having a proper sketch to start with. I just wanted to show you how powerful understanding values is and how powerful it is once you start, squinting your eyes. So the takeaway from this video is understand values. I want you to practice values. Remember, you can practice with simpler objects like a sphere, cube, and keep squinting your eyes once you paint. But don't do it too much because you might get a headache. But it's good practice, trust me. And that's it. Please like if you found this video helpful, and hopefully I will be able to do more of these in the future. So bye for now.